Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life by James Patterson, chapters 38 and 39. Chapter 38, The Dark Ages. If you ask me, one of the worst parts of the school year is between Halloween and Thanksgiving. I mean, you've been there long enough to know how bad it can be, but Christmas break isn't nearly soon enough, and at the end of the year is nowhere in sight. It's also right after daylight savings time, so when you leave in the morning, it's dark, and when you get home after school, it's practically dark. Dark, dark, dark. That was my life these days. When I showed up for the first of those 3 Wednesday detentions with Donatello, I found out she'd done the same thing as before. It was going to just be me and the Dragon Lady all alone for the whole hour. That could mean only one thing. I was Dragon Chow. I also started selling Zoom out of my locker again, but it wasn't the same anymore. The stakes were higher. I couldn't afford to get caught, so I couldn't do it all the time. Plus, Bear's stash was starting to get too low. I ended up spending more than half of what I made just putting new cans back in the garage so he wouldn't notice. Back in detention again. I did my best to keep Donatello from slicing and dicing my brain into little pieces, but it wasn't easy. She kept trying to get me to talk about myself, and I kept telling her I had homework to do. Sometimes that worked, but sometimes it didn't. Look at everyone's trying to buy Zoom. Yeah, then there was Miller. You'd think he'd give me some credit for the whole break every rule in the book thing, but no. He just thought I was trying to prove I was a bigger criminal than he was. Talk about paranoid. I had to tell him ahead of time how many pages I wanted to buy, and then he'd just show up with that many. I didn't get very far either. Well, the way I had to keep restocking Bear's stash, I only managed to buy 18 pages before Thanksgiving. On top of everything else, I was still trying to be normal Rafe and not get into any more trouble. It was working, I guess, but I still wasn't any good at school, and still I hated my classes as much as ever. I thought being normal would make me feel like a better person, but so far, not really. But here's the funny part. Even though I felt like I was still living in the Dark Ages, nobody seemed to notice. As far as Mom and Jeannie and even Donatello were concerned, I'd already turned over a whole new leaf. Here's week 3. He's being good. Oh, thank you, Rave. Say what? I see some improvement here today, some progress. Oh, yeah. And if you're wondering about Leo, let's just say he thought I was getting exactly what I deserved. Normal is boring. And he says, I told you so. Chapter 39. Jeannie, Jeannie, Jeannie. Don't think I haven't noticed, Jeannie said to me on the Monday before Thanksgiving. I turned around with water dripping off my face from the fountain. Noticed what? I said, wiping it away. On the outside, I was just standing there, but on the inside, I was thinking, holy cow, it's Jeannie, and you can do it. You can do this, Rafe. Just stay cool and don't do anything stupid. You've been playing by the rules, Jeannie said, but she whispered it like we had the secret between us, which we kind of did. She was one of the only people who knew about Operation Rafe. Yeah, well, I'm on a break, I told her. I'm just being normal for a while. Yeah, she said. That's what I noticed. So let me ask you something. What are you doing after school on Wednesday? Nothing, I said in about a split second. Oh, that was quick, she said. Are you sure? Yup. It didn't seem possible, but I couldn't help wondering if the impossible was about to happen. Was Jeannie Galetta really about to ask me to go out with her? Well, good, she said, because Student Council is doing a fundraiser at the Duper Market. We're sponsoring a family who can't afford their own Thanksgiving. There's going to be a pie and cookie sale and a food drive too. We could really use some extra help. Oh, I said. Well, yeah, okay. Sounds like a good cause. I mean, what else was I gonna say? Oh, great, Jeannie said. 3:30 on Wednesday. And if you could ask your mom or dad to make something for the bake sale, that would be awesome. Sure, I told her. My mom makes these really good apple pies all the time with lots of cinnamon. I'll bring one of those. Oh, thanks, Rafe. I really appreciate it, Jeannie said. Then before she left, she leaned in again, really close, and whispered, Hey, I like you this way, and don't worry, your secret's safe with me. Before I could say anything or do something to mess it up, she was already walking away, and I thought,